Freen's POV. Becky just kissed me. And still kissing me. I froze on my bed. I didn't know what to do and my heart is beating like crazy. Her lips still on mine, closing her eyes as she started to move her lips. Fuck. I couldn't think straight anymore. I grab her waist, responding to the kiss as she immediately moved her body on mine, straddling my lap while still moving our lips together. Shit, this is wrong. So wrong. But I still keep coming back for more. Her lips feel so soft against me. God know how much I have been missing this taste. I bite her lower lips and she opened her mouth, sliding my tongue inside, tasting every part of her mouth as she let out a soft moan. She pulled my neck closer, leaving our body with no gap. Fuck, I don't want to stop this. I might do more than this. I decided to pull away from the kiss, we both panting, trying to catch our breath. Her face is red as she looks at me. I miss this. I miss her so bad. Her taste still lingering on my mouth, Becky cupped my face, gazing intently towards me, her eyes softened same as mine. All the thoughts immediately drift away. Becky, this is so wrong, I breathe out. She rubs her thumb on cheek, my heart pounding like crazy already, her touch making me weak. I just want to feel her again. It is not. Because I will break up with him, Becky whispered softly. My eyes shot open, I can't believe with what I just heard from her. She looks at me again as her eyes divert from my eyes to my lips. Are you sure, Dash? She crashed our lips together again before I could finish my words. Fuck, she's becoming aggressive right now. I wandered my hands around her body, my hands make their ways inside her shirt as she let out a moan, surprised with the feeling of my cold hands on her skin. I can feel her body heat up from our hot make-out session, pulling away from her lips as my lips make their ways from her jaw down to her neck, kissing it softly and sucking it hard. Freen. Gosh, hearing my name coming from her mouth sounds so good to my ear. I couldn't control myself anymore. It feels like something possessed me. Becky grip on my neck even tighter as I still sucking her soft white neck softly. Her vanilla smell hit my nose, making myself turning on even more. Freen. She breathed out after feeling my lips going to her collarbone, my hand still caressing her bare waist. I don't want to stop. I don't care about anything at this point anymore. I just need her and I want to feel her. My hands went towards her bare back as I pulled away from her collarbone, kissing her soft lips again, biting her lower lips as she moaned in response. Caressing her bare waist as my hand went towards the back of her bra, I was about to unclip it, but then we heard the door opened, making both of us pulled away from each other. Ow, Becky groaned in pain after her but make contact with the floor. Oh shit, I accidentally push her down on the floor. Becky, why are you on the floor? 3. 4. Author's POV. Is your butt okay, Becky? Gosh, why can't you stay still on your seat? Mrs. Armstrong said, looking at her daughter. Becky and Freen exchanging a quick glance to each other before awkwardly clearing their throat. Becky stand still in front of the bed. Why?
Yeah.
I'm okay. Becky said, smiling fakely. You still haven't met Freen's mom, right? Here, this is Mrs. 𝖗𝖊𝖈𝖆𝖈, the older woman said. Becky bowed down towards her. Becky feel her nervousness spread around her body, facing the older woman as she gulped down her saliva, looking down, feeling guilty after what she did to her one and only daughter. I am sorry, I couldn't remember you, Becky apologized, looking down on the floor. But then she feels someone pulling her into a tight hug. It's okay, Becky, things happened, as long as you are safe, the older woman said, rubbing the younger girl's back. Freen, on the other hand, smiled with the sight. Even though this is not how she wants Becky to meet her mother, she still feel glad that everything's starting to become better. She suddenly remembered again their moments earlier, the way Becky kissed her and when she said she's gonna break up with 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈𝖆'𝑘. Freen just hoping that Becky would really do that. Looking at the scene in front of her, she couldn't help but feel her chest tighten. After Freen got out of the hospital, let's have a family dinner soon since Mrs. 𝖗𝖊𝖈𝖆𝖈𝖆 is here, Becky's mom said, crashing down the silent while looking at Freen, rubbing her shoulder. I don't mind, Mom, Freen replied, smiling, and look at Becky, who surprisingly already looking at her. Exchanging a small smile towards each other, Freen can feel her heart flutter again. Their moments then got interrupted by a phone ringing. I'm sorry, I will take this call, Becky spoke up before quickly leaving the room. Freen curiously followed the figure until the sight of Becky vanished from the room. Letting out a small sigh, Freen leaned her head on the headboard. Becky, on the other hand, sat on the chair looking at the call from 𝖗𝖊𝖇 as she took a deep breath before answering. 𝖗𝖊𝖇, Becky, can we meet later at the cafe? I have something to tell you. Becky, sure, I have something to tell you too. About what? Becky, you will know about it later, not now. Do you want me to fetch you? We can go together. Becky, it's okay, I will order the Grab. 𝖗𝖊, alright then, see you babe. Becky.
Yeah.
See you. Becky ended the phone call. She decided to end everything with 𝖗𝖊 today. She couldn't do this anymore. After the kiss, she knew this is the right thing to do. The kiss between her and Freen feels different. She never feel like this with 𝖗𝖊 and never have. It's time for her to fix everything she did. And her feelings for Freen that she just realized. Becky is in love with the older girl for the second time, even though she still couldn't remember the memories of them together completely, but she knew Freen is the only one who can make her feel this way. Her heart beat so fast just by thinking about Freen. So what you gonna talk about? 𝖗𝖊 asked as soon as they faced each other. You go first. You first. Becky sighed and looked at him. Together then, Becky suggested. 𝖗𝖊 nodded his head before taking a deep breath. He seems more nervous than before, just like how Becky is feeling right now. Staring into each other, they decided to tell it together. 1, 2, 3. Let's break up / let's get married. Both of them flinch after hearing what each other just said. Becky widened her eyes, furrowing her eyebrows before looking at him. Get married, you said? Are you kidding me, 𝖗𝖊? Why are you breaking up with me, Becky? Answer me first. Becky started to get impatient. My mom have been pressuring me to get married. That's why I'm asking you, but I didn't expect this is what I'm hearing from you, 𝖗𝖊 said, clearly disappointed. 𝖗𝖊, for fuck's sake, we didn't even reach 2 months. Why are you rushing so much? Because of your mom? What's the problem if we even get married, Becky? There's nothing wrong, isn't it? Why are you breaking up with me? Did I do something wrong to you or what? Clearly there's a problem. I didn't even meet your family and we only known each other for a month. Do you think marriage is a joke? And no, you didn't do nothing wrong. It's between me and my feelings. Becky slightly raised her voice. 𝖗𝖊 sighed in frustration as he ran his hand through his hair before looking at Becky devastatingly. Becky, on the other hand, take a deep breath. What's with your feelings? Did you fell out of love with me? Becky, come on, there must be something we could do, 𝖗𝖊 asked, desperately reaching for Becky's hand, but Becky quickly pulled away. I realized that I have been lying to myself for this whole time, 𝖗𝖊. The person that I really love is Freen. I may forgot all of my memories, but my heart does not. I'm sorry, there's nothing we could do anymore. I'm sorry again, I'm gonna leave now. Becky standing up from her seat, taking all her things as she walked away, not until a hand stopping from walking. Becky, please, you can't do this to me. I love you, 𝖗𝖊 said, holding on her arm as his voice started to soften. 𝖗𝖊, please let me go. I'm sorry, I can't lie to myself anymore. Becky looked at him, pulling away from his grip before quickly leaving the cafe, leaving the hopeless guy behind. The younger girl slowly walked in the hallway, going to Freen's room. Becky nervously stand in front of the door as she couldn't help but feel the adrenaline rushing through her blood. Slowly opening the door, she didn't see any sight of any visitor anymore, peeking her head, and there she saw Freen reading some book while wearing her glasses. The older girl didn't even notice the presence on the door as Becky quietly walked towards the ladder. Holy shit, you scared me, Freen slightly startled after noticing Becky beside her. Becky let out a small chuckle seeing Freen's surprised face as the older girl put down the book before diverting her attention towards the smaller girl. When did mom went home? About an hour earlier, Freen replied. Her voice started to soften, looking at Becky, who still seems nervous. Are you nervous? Becky surprised with the question and quickly looked away, clearing her throat. And no, I am not. Really? Your eyes said otherwise. Didn't we just make out earlier? Why are you nervous? The smaller girl's face started to heat up with Freen answered. Gosh, shut up. Freen let out a small laugh before staring at the shy girl beside her. She couldn't believe that Becky is here right now, coming back to her after all the things they have been through. She gotta admit that the pain caused by Becky still lingering inside her, but she's slowly letting it go piece by piece. I have something to tell you, Becky spoke up after the silence surrounding them. What is it? I broke up with 𝖗𝖊 earlier. Freen immediately feel her heart pounding like crazy, didn't expect that it would be this soon. Becky really keeping her words. I'm sorry for realizing too late, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings, Becky apologized, looking down. The older girl removed her glasses before slowly bringing her hand, intertwined their finger together, making Becky quickly look at her. As long as you are here, I will be okay, Freen stuttered, moving the strand of hair, putting it behind Becky's ear. Can you please don't walk away from me again? I promise I will fix all the mess I made, just don't leave me again. I won't, I will still be here until all of your memories come back and we gonna start everything again, Freen replied. Becky couldn't hold her tears as she started sobbing. Come here. Freen scooped back a little, patting down the empty space on her bed as Becky slowly sat down beside her. Stop crying, you don't look cute crying like this, Freen wiped the tears making Becky cry harder as the older girl immediately hugged the latter. You said I'm not so cute, Becky sobbed. Freen let out a small laugh before wrapping her arms tightly around Becky while the younger girl buried her face on the latter neck. Despite the tight space on the bed, they still feel comfortable being in each other's arms. The surrounding becomes silent but not the awkward kind one. Enjoying their little cuddle session, Freen gave a small peck on the head to Becky. The younger girl looked up to her as they look at each other. Do you know how glad I am feeling right now? Freen whispered, softly wiping the remaining tears on Becky's cheek. I do, and I'm feeling very happy right now. Thank you for accepting me in your life again. I promise I will try my best to remember every part of you, and also us. Wait for me. Reaching for the older girl's cheek, slowly pulling Freen into a kiss. Their lips collide, devouring each other. Taste like this is their last night together.